Hey guys, so I'm here with a bit of a different video today. I'm actually going to be doing kind of a review, kind of my thoughts on The Mister by E.L. James. I haven't done a review video in a really long time, but I really wanted to kind of get my thoughts out about this one. E.L. James is the author of the 50 Shades of Grey series, and that is a book series that's had a lot of controversy. Lots of people disliked it, lots of people loved it. It had kind of, a huge blow up, like it was a publishing sensation. People loved it. It really kind of brought sort of erotic fiction to the fore, whereas a lot of people weren't reading it or were ashamed to read it. It kind of really just exploded and everyone was reading it. I know it has a lot of controversy on like booktube and stuff. People like to dislike it. It's a little bit like the Twilight books, they were a massive sensation, but when you speak to people about them now, like, people are like, oh, that. I read the 50 Shades of Grey books, obviously. It's been a long time since I've read them. It's years and years now. Obviously I read them when they came out, and at the time, I really enjoyed them. Are they the best books that has ever been written ever? No, but I think that what made them so popular was that they were different, they were novel. So I enjoyed them at the time, but I've moved away from them now. I would never go back and diss them because I did enjoy them at the time, and I can admit that. Some people seem to be unable to admit that. I don't really know why. So this is her new book, and it's basically a complete departure from 50 Shades, nothing to do with it whatsoever. I did go to the event in Chelsea on the 24th of April. If you want, there is a vlog on my channel of that event, and I read it before I went. I did manage to read it. I read it quite quickly. I really enjoyed this book. I have seen, across the internet, some people say it's very slow and, not much happens. But I really enjoyed it. It's not a kinky book like 50 Shades is. Is there some sex in it? Yes, there is, but that is not the focus of this book, and it doesn't happen for ages in this book. So what happens is Maxim Trevelyan is from the landed gentry in the UK. That's the other departure, is obviously 50 Shades is set in the US, this is set in the UK. And Maxim is from the landed gentry. He has recently unexpectedly come into a title because he was the spare, not the heir. So he's having to deal with all this responsibility that he's never had to deal with before. He's never really had to work for a living, and now this responsibility lands on his lap. And he's always been, a bit of a playboy. Now suddenly has all this responsibility. And then Alicia is his cleaner, which he doesn't even know to sort of start with, because she takes over from somebody else and he doesn't even realise at first. And she has arrived in the UK under quite tragic circumstances. So she's hiding. She's really sweet. She's very shy, and after the event and knowing why she wrote them in different persons, she wrote Maxim's point of view in first person and Alicia's point of view in third person, and after she explained it, it kind of made sense. She wanted to sort of have her be a little bit reticent and be a bit shy. So yeah, and it's basically their story of them being attracted to each other and falling in love, and Max dealing with what's going on with his family and Alicia dealing with what she's running from. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really cute kind of romance. It's kind of a cliche. What E.L. James said about this book is that she had one idea for it, and it was, what if you fell in love with your cleaner? And that's kind of where it sprung from. So it's kind of a little bit of an old school cliche romance in that sense. It's like, like boss and employee and rich guy, poor girl. It's kind of a little bit of a cliche in that, but then if you like your romance novels, then you're aware of those cliches in romance novels, so they're not really any surprise to anybody. But I really enjoyed. There is some unanswered questions for me. A lot is sort of mentioned about Maxim's brother and the circumstances of him dying, and there's a lot of questions there, but nothing's really answered. It's not been confirmed if this is going to be a standalone or if she's going to come back to it. I would really like there to be more, because I do definitely feel like there's stuff that's left unanswered. There's a lot left open. But overall, I really enjoyed it. It's definitely a departure from 50 Shades, but I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was nice that it's that little bit different, and yeah, it's really good, really good. If you like your romance novels, definitely pick this one up. And also an interesting little fact is that E.L. James actually designed this book cover herself. She made it herself, so that's a nice little tidbit there. So yeah, that's my thoughts on The Mister. Overall, I think I would give it sort of around the 4.5 out of 5 because I really loved reading it, but I do have a lot of sort of unanswered questions. If I knew there was going to be another book, then it wouldn't matter so much, but because that's kind of up in the air, it's a little bit like, am I going to get more, am I not? I would love to see these characters again, so I really hope that we do get to see them. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon.